This is Eagle Out, and today we're going to talk about how Saquon Barkley admitted that Zach Baun and the Kobe Dean made him slightly better. Also, we're going to talk about AJ Brown being extra motivated for this game. And lastly, we got to talk about Jalen Hurts and how he's fueled by the hate. But let's get straight into it. All right, of course, before we hop straight into it, we got to shout out today's sponsor, BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150, get 150% boost on your first deposit, and on your next two deposits, get 125% boost. Use promo code YouTube150, and you can do this up to $2,000. All right, so let's get into the quick hits. All right. So first one is that Brandon Graham, man, it looked like it's going to be real. Like he's playing his final game. He alluded to it. Like this is going to be his final game. What I think is that if he couldn't play in the Super Bowl, he would have played the following season. But let's try to end this on top. He didn't officially announce it, but based on how he was talking to the reporters, like it's gonna be his final game. He ain't talking about final game of the season, final game of his career. Gonna miss Brandon Graham. He played his best all the way to the end. If this is his retirement, I mean, beginning of his career, if you old enough to remember, had that same stigma like Nolan Smith. Gonna be a bust. What's going on? We should have got who was that? Earl Thomas, the safety from that went to Seattle. A lot of people thought we should have got him. A lot of chit chatter, but you know what we always remember Brandon Graham for, that strip sack on Tom Brady. And man, he been aging like wine. Hell, before the injury, we could have said like Brandon Graham is having one hell of a year. One hell of a year. So if this is last, definitely give it his all. Can't doubt that at all. Speaking of players, and I don't know how to segue into this from talking about Brandon Graham. I'm sorry, I'm struggling. But another quick hit, Myles Garrett. He spoke about the Philadelphia Eagles, got heckled a little bit by WIP, but then he spoke to another station. I tried to get the best audio I can get, but let me play these two clips.
Future Eagle! Future Eagle right here! Future Eagle! Come on, Michael!
No, the hell is not.
Around here today, but what's the one team that you got the most? Hey, come join my team.
The Eagles have been out full force.
And the Eagles, right? They're in the big game. Howie Roseman's always wheeling and dealing. We even have some of their media right here to the right recording this conversation. My old boss, Mike Eskin and Ike Reese, they're chanting at you, come to Philadelphia. You can see yourself eating some cheesesteaks and winning a championship in the city, brother.
I mean, we went there for preseason. I definitely got the cheesesteak. We lived up to my hopes. I'm not going to stay too attached to any one team at this point. I know my fate is really in my hands, but the destiny.
And then also,
all right. As you see, he said if you couldn't hear it, that the Philadelphia Eagles will be one hell of a destination to go to. But he pretty much been praising almost every team. I've seen him say positive things about the Commanders, how they could use an edge rusher. We know 2 years ago he was saying like Philly would be a great destination, and he's saying that again because he come to the Philadelphia Eagles like. It's damn near like Saquon, how he came to the Philadelphia Eagles. We're talking about Jalen Carter and Myles Garrett possibly being on the same defensive line. Then Nolan Smith, whoever you keep, Morrow, Jomo, Milton. Like, it's going to be really, really hard for the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands. Really hard, man, because this is like probably one of the best football players ever. So, again, man, Myles Garrett could come to Philadelphia. I'm cool with it. I will love it. I know Howard's going to make the call, but will it be enough? I don't know. We will see. Also, Sirianni spoke about being under pressure, like how will he handle it, this, that, and the third. And this is what Nick Sirianni had to say.
Preseason game, and it was a preseason game, and they were booing at halftime, and And I kind of remember getting in the car. So my wife adapted very quickly to Philly because I got in the car and I told this story before. So I thought us coaches only have so many stories and we recycle them and tell them over and over again. But I got in the car and I'm like, can you believe that they were booing us at halftime of the second preseason game was against the Patriots? And she said, well, what'd you give them to cheer about? And I was like, that was fair. And so, there's pressure in all professional sports. We're used to that, we're built for it. And so what we need to do is control the things like we can't control, with the outside noise or anything like that. All we can control is our habits. And that's what we'll try to do this week to try to put ourselves in position to succeed this week.
Like, yo, in Philly, hell yeah, it's pressure. It's pressure to bring that Lombardi. So I like that he kept it real. He kept like, no pressure. Nah, we in Philly. This is the emotional town. They want their ring. And they Sirianni, he's the guy. He can handle it. He could definitely handle it. This is the same guy just last year got popcorn thrown at him for losing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So trust me, he know the pressure. He definitely do. But let's go over the injury report. But before I read the actual injury report, Landon Dickerson had to say this about playing.
Oh, I have every expectation of playing on Sunday. I'm doing good.
Safe to say, Landon Dickerson is playing. And also, A.J. Brown admitted he was hurt the past two games against the Packers and against the Rams. And he really felt healthy against the Commanders, which you could tell by the results. So it's good to hear that he's going to be fully healthy, especially having a week off. So we're going to get 100% A.J. Brown. Now it makes me wonder, like, how we called the Packers game, even how we called the Rams game. Like, was we doing that to protect A.J. Brown and also have him out there as a decoy? Even though we was giving the ball to A.J. Brown a little more in the Rams game, but he did have some big drops. But then you seen the big difference against the Commanders. The route running looked better. The explosiveness looked better. Again, now he goes into the Super Bowl that week off, and now seems like he's good. But let's go over the injury report. Right, so Jalen Carter, what I forgot to mention, he was sick. He didn't even do the media day thing because he wasn't feeling too good. Was limited. Kenny G was limited. Then you had Brandon Graham with the elbow was limited, and Devontae Smith was limited. Zach Baun, full participant. He's dealing with some type of groin injury. Brent Covey was a full participant. It'd be interesting to see if he play. Landon Dickerson, as you heard in the clip, he will play. He's a full participant. Dallas Goedert, full participant. Cam Jurgens, full participant. As I reported on my past video, Cam Jurgens, he's not missing the Super Bowl. And CJ Uzama was full participant. But you see the guys you don't see? Remember Jalen Hurts dealing with the knee. Remember A.J. Brown dealing with a knee. They not on there at all. So that is some good news. All right, so let's get into these topics. And speaking of A.J. Brown is extra motivated for this game. So remember the plane crash in the northeast of Philadelphia? We know the people on the plane passed away, but there were like people around. And I believe a kid named Trey Brown, I'm sorry if I got his name wrong, 10-year-old kid got hurt, had to get like brain surgery. If I'm not mistaken, that's the reports I'm seeing. So let me know if I'm wrong on the report. And A.J. Brown responded to like ML Football, who reposted it. And he was like, speedy recovery. Hopefully, come back with, some jewelry or whatever from New Orleans, meaning hopefully we win the Lombardi. And it seemed like he's extra motivated. A.J. Brown take those things to the heart. And I think he's going to go out there, not just play for the team, for his family, and just the things in Philadelphia. He wanted to be a part of that, bringing that second Lombardi to Philadelphia. And I believe even Darius Slade put something up for the kid, responded to like ML Football. So this team is motivated. It's definitely motivated. Of course, internally, I believe they motivated, especially Slade, possibly being his last year. Then, the plane crash, just things that happen in Philadelphia, they are motivated. I mean, just keep it at that. They are definitely motivated. All right. Speaking of being motivated, let's talk about Saquon Barkley. So Saquon Barkley was on Big Play Slay podcast, and he spoke about like players that broke out that he didn't really expect. I knew the answer, but I wanted to see how he will elaborate on it and see what he's seen in training camp. And he mentioned Zach Baun and the Kobe Dean, and this is what he had to say.
And the overall season, man, because we had some great players that stood out and got better. Who was the guy that kind of like got you better, as in just a better player overall?
Baun and Kobe, I think we helped each other.
Yeah, Kobe for sure.
I'll be lying to your face. I think you'll be lying to my face. I think everyone would be lying if we thought Zach was going to turn out to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't see any of that in camp, but like what I did see is how like active he was in trying to learn a position and like coming and talking to me about like the position he's going against. And when you just talk to him about the week, like his understanding of going against offenses, like he sees stuff. Like I remember him calling out stuff against when we played Commanders, and he was like, "Oh, I got them dialed in. Oh, I know when they're doing this and when they're doing that." And it's like for him to be his first year at that position,
it's crazy.
Understanding like that and playing at the level is, I think, and I think you may agree with me, he's a defense player of the year. I know they're not going to give it to him,
right?
But if he had, I think I saw someone say this before, Fred Warner's name or Raquan's name.
Come on now,
he would be the defense player of the year.
I said it on the pod.
It's like you can't deny what he's doing, and like it's even crazier to when you realize that that's his first time ever playing that position like that for real. But I would say, yeah, both vice versa. I think more just how like inquisitive he was about all the stuff he wanted to learn at that position.
That's really, really interesting. And I never really thought of that. And Slay, you got to watch the full thing. Slay ended up going into detail, like us playing y'all made us a lot better, made us the #1 defense because we had to stop you. So you got to think of those linebackers. Every day in camp, they had to deal with fucking Saquon Barkley. Kobe Dean and Zach Baun just had to deal with him every day, Monday through Friday. Oh, we got to stop this guy. We got to stop this guy. And you got to think, there was days where the defense won and there was days where the offense won. So it's a good thing to hear about the linebacker you want to keep. But I heard Tom Brady give Zach Baun some praise too. And this is what scared me, and I will let you know why. But let me play the clip of Tom Brady giving Zach Baun some praise.
Hand out some hardware. It's time for my LFG awards. Everyone knows I love an underdog story, so my Defensive Player of the Year goes to Eagles linebacker Zach Baun. Zach went from playing special teams in New Orleans to an all-pro in his first year in Philly. He's a huge reason why the Eagles had the NFL's #1 ranked defense, and they're playing in New Orleans. Facing Mahomes in a Super Bowl will be a huge test, but I have no doubt Zach and that defense is up for it.
Let me tell you why that scares me. One, that's just not an analyst saying congratulations to Zach Baun. That is Tom Brady, who is part owner of the Raiders. I believe have a lot of cap space. He will go after Zach Baun, and I hope that don't happen. I hope that don't happen. So a guy like Tom Brady recognizing Zach Baun is a good thing for Zach Baun resume. But if I'm seeing the team owner recognize him, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to offer him the bag and see what he do, see if he stay. But again, it's good to hear Zach Baun. But I can't exclude Kobe Dean because he said Kobe Dean too, made him play better. So again, man, those two linebackers, Kobe Dean and Zach Baun, they have really been big surprises. And they talked about it too, like his Zach Baun name was Roquan Smith or Fred Warner or something like that. It would have been a done deal like week 12. Like, yeah, we know defense of the year is going to Zach Baun, but because Zach Baun don't have that name, don't have that, personality out there in the media like that. So you got to really do your research. And when you do your research, you see he's had a better year than Luke Kuechly when he won Defensive Player of the Year. But maybe they give it to the big name like Patrick Surtain or something. I hope not, but we know who deserves it. We definitely know who deserves the Defensive Player of the Year. All right, last topic. Jalen Hurts is fueled by the hate. And, the reporter tried to go on like, is it secret or something? Whatever the reporter was saying. But Jalen Hurts said this about being fueled by the hate.
So what does it do for you to take you to that next level?
It's just who I am. My mentality and my approach is always to better myself. And it's always looking to train first, and then looking at my teammates and how I can better the guy around me as well. So I've always been focused on what I'm asked to do and can I do it at a high level, and also processing the way that I'm being taught to see the game and how I already see the game. And then obviously you have that burning desire to win. So all of those things are priority to me.
It's no secret. It's no secret. Everybody named Mama know Jalen Hurts is fueled by that. Hell, did you see what he did to the Commanders after all that talk against the Rams? Y'all think I can't throw? All right, cool. Y'all think this rookie better than me? All right, cool. Outduel him, outplay him. Not only that, blow him the hell out. Now he hear the same thing. And it's the same narrative it's been since we entered the playoffs. Make Jalen Hurts beat you. Don't let Saquon beat you. Well, one, you can't stop Saquon. And two, don't downplay the quarterback like that. He can beat you. He definitely can. But Saquon can too. So, hey, you can't stop it. Every Eagles fan knew this. You're going to either try to sell out on Saquon, AJ and Devontae and Dallas got to going to do their thing. You try to play that weak-ass zone, okay. Saquon going to do his thing. Hell, low in the box is not even working because I think the first play where Saquon ran for that 60-yarder or whatever against the Washington, they had the box loaded. Pitched it out. Nobody's back there to stop Saquon, and we knew how that went. So, yeah, man, keep hating, keep doubting. I'm hearing like analysts, like a bunch of NFL analysts analyzed the game and said the Chiefs are going to win. It was like 21 out of 27 or something like that. That's insane. That is insane. Like, we complete underdog. You know what they say. Hungry dogs run faster, or, okay, cool. We the underdog. Time to take out them dog masks. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news? Jalen Hurts saying it's no secret he's motivated by hate. A.J. Brown is motivated. Zach Baun, Kobe Dean getting their praise. You know, I talked about Sirianni and all those guys. But this is Eagle Al, man. I'm out.